Hello, everybody. This is Mr. Crook. Welcome to Anatomy and Physiology. And this is your first project, so you're well on your way into the first module, into the first unit. And so, hopefully, if you have any questions, please let me know. But I will make these for every single project in this course. This is actually my first year teaching this course, and this is year 2019. Just in case I use these several times, you guys don't think I'm doing this first time several years. But anyways, this is 2019. This is my first time teaching this course, and so as we're going along, I might switch some projects out if I don't like them very much. And so, but this one right here, I felt like was pretty good that they've done, and so I'm going to go over those a little bit. So for this project, there's two parts, and I only want to go over the second part. I will show you the first part though, but I feel like it's pretty straightforward, and I think you guys will be able to do just fine with it. So the first part is in lesson 2, and it says obtain a sample of a cow bone. So this is a good excuse to go get some steak and eat it first, of course. Don't waste the steak. And also a chicken bone, and you can give that to somebody else, right? But anyways, so get the bone and the chicken bone, the cow bone and chicken bone, and you will do some things with them. Basically, this first unit goes over basically bones and other types of tissue, such as muscle and skin and things like that. And so, this is it's going to have you look at the bone structure of these different organisms. And so, anyways, pretty simple here. It also says that if you went and asked them, like back where they grind the meat and stuff, if you ever asked them, say, hey, do you have some bones that I could take home? They might be able to, but I would just buy this T-bone steak and a chicken wing or something, chicken leg, and that would work just fine. So it says chicken bones if you are a vegetarian. Anyways, it just basically just says if you're vegetarian, I'm sorry. And anyways, but that's how you can go do it, is you go ask. Okay. But anyways, for the questions here, there are a couple questions that it'll ask, and I have it open. I thought I did. I don't have it open. Let me open it up. I can just preview those questions for you right now, so you can see those. All right. Once this loads up, question number 1, so this is for lesson number 2. It says look at the 2 samples of bone, cow and chicken, compare their density and structure, write a 3-paragraph report detailing the differences and relating such differences to the way that cows and chickens live. So by looking at those 2 bones, look at how dense they are. To do that, you might have to cut into them a little bit. If not, there are resources on the internet, and I will paste some resources that you may use with this video. But anyways, compare those densities inside, because what's kind of unique is birds have a different density than mammals, and such as a cow, and you can kind of think about why do they have that less dense bone, and kind of just explain that and make sure that's a 3-paragraph right there. Okay. With these paragraphs, make sure that if you do pull evidence from the internet, you cite that. Okay. Make sure you cite that evidence there. All right. So what I really want to spend time on is lesson 4, and let's get into that one right here. So this one I feel like is very interesting. I have a master's degree in biology, and I've done a lot of research with basically our body's metabolism and muscle systems and things like that. And so this is very fascinating to me. And there's a lot of research going on right now with muscle fatigue and soreness. And back in the day, I used to work out quite a bit. When I was doing my undergrad at Utah State, worked out quite a bit, and I found this stuff very fascinating because I wanted to build muscle. Now I'm just fat, but anyways, when you look at this, a couple things you're going to need mainly is a bathroom scale. Okay, so something sort of like this right here that I've got, that you can stand on. You don't want a digital one because when you move it around like this, it would manipulate and affect it. But these old scale ones right here, you can get for like $10 or less at Walmart. And if you are just don't have the money, guess what? We're going to do the lab together right here, and you can use my data. Okay. So, anyways, excuse me. What you're going to do with this is we're looking at muscle fatigue. Now, a quick review. Um, your the textbook goes over basically a little bit on this, and here we go. And it talks about muscle fatigue. I want to point out a couple things because there are a few parts of this where the textbook's actually wrong and outdated. And so basically, it's going to talk. It talks about how our muscles get energy. And if you've taken biology, which you should have, it goes. You're going to know that our body needs ATP, and ATP is our body's cellular energy that it needs to do pretty much anything that it does, and it gets it through a process called cellular respiration, and that happens in the mitochondria in our cells. Muscle cells have a large amount of mitochondria, more than any other cells in our body. And we can obviously say, well, yeah, it needs that energy. And so muscle will have more mitochondria to carry out cellular respiration and make more ATP. We know with ATP or with cellular respiration, oxygen is needed. Okay, and so if we looked at that equation, we know that sugar is needed, so glucose and oxygen. And then when those form together through cellular respiration through that process, and I'm not going to go into detail there because that would make this this video way longer than it needs to be, and go overboard on what this project needs. But we know that carbon dioxide is a byproduct. We expel that, and we also know that water is a byproduct, and ATP energy is a byproduct that our body needs. And there's some other things that happen there as well. One of those things is hydrogen ions will increase in the muscle. And I'm going to post a video here that I'm not going to play it, but I'd like you guys to watch it. And there will be a question on this. Sorry. There will be a question on this in the video or in the quiz for this. All right, here we are again. Sorry, you guys. Could hear my wife yelling at me. And when the wife yells, you go. Anyways, so I think what I was talking about here, this video is just going to go over basic causes of fatigue, the three different, and he's going to go into three different ways in which that can occur there. And so I'll put that there. You can watch it, and it will be on the quiz. So anyways, back to this. So we're looking at muscle fatigue, and we're going to see some trends as we go through this, and I'll kind of walk through how I'd want you to do this, and that way you guys are set. So the procedures are there, pretty simple, but when you get this scale, you're just going to squeeze it as hard as you can, and you're going to maintain it for 10 seconds. So I'm actually going to do this. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use this spreadsheet here to keep my data. It said to only do it two more, like a total of 3 times. Well, guess what? I'm going to do it like 5 or 6. This is just the science guy in me. The more data we have, the more accurate it is. Okay, and the easier it is to see some trends there. And so, if we go back, one thing I was going to talk about where it was kind of wrong here is it's going to talk about lactic acid. And this is what happens when I lose my train of thought. I'm sorry, but basically, this textbook talks about how muscle fatigue is due to an increase in lactic acid. Okay, now I was taught this when I was going to school when I was getting my degree and stuff, but recent data has shown this might not be the case. And so I wanted to point that out there. Basically, lactic acid is being built when oxygen is not there, right? The more you work out, the you run out of oxygen, and if you don't have that oxygen, your body can't go through cellular respiration as it was taught. It goes into a different form in the lack of oxygen, and it's not as it doesn't make as much ATP, but one of the byproducts is lactic acid, and they think that's what causes fatigue and soreness. And so, anyways, but recent evidence has shown maybe that isn't the case. All right. So here we go. So I'm going to press the scale into my palms as hard as I can. I'm going to hold it there for 10 seconds, and I'm going to mark down, and I'm going to write that down. Okay, and it says set the scale down and press your palms together for 1 minute in between that, and then do it again. And I'm going to do that, let's say 5 times. Okay. And what I might do is pause the video after I do a couple, and that way you don't have to watch me go through this. So here we go. So I'm going to squeeze this as hard as I can. Some of you guys are going to be like, oh, Mr. Crook, you're weak. Here we go. Try and just hold it there at 90. 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so that was 90. I'm just going to type that in there. And I'm going to press my palms together for about a minute here. And I've got a clock up there that's kind of keeping track for me. Well, how's you guys' day going? Okay. All right, about 15 more seconds, we'll say. All right, there we go. Okay, and then I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna squeeze as hard as I can. Yeah, so you're already seeing it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, there I was at 70. Okay, hold it together here. Press my palms together for about a minute, and I'm going to put some force on that to burn my muscles down, use up all that ATP, and some of you young bucks probably have more than I do. But then maybe not, because I have to wrestle kids around all day. My 2 little boys, and it's almost the end of summer right now, and so I've been with them all day long, and they wear you out. Okay, about 30 more seconds. If you guys ever have questions on any of this topic, just send me an email, and I will answer any questions that you guys have. I find this stuff very interesting, obviously, because I've put too much money in a master's degree with it. All right, about 5 more seconds there. All right, here we go. Squeeze and squeeze, squeeze. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow, okay. All right, here we go again. I'm just gonna keep it playing. You guys can go get a drink of water or something in between these minute sessions. I hope by doing these videos or these help videos, they kind of walk you through how to do this. I will show you that I will want your data. If you do use mine, I want you to specify that you did use mine. But if you did your own, I want to see your data as well. When you turn in your assignment, just embed it in the text itself. Okay, almost done there. Okay, here we go. I'll make this one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What was that, like 45? Okay. All right, last one. It's really key that in these minutes you actually do apply pressure, flex those muscles, burn some energy there. between these minutes and give yourself a little workout while you're doing it. I forgot to look at the clock. Say I've been going for 10-15 minutes. All right, 30 seconds left. Some of you guys probably have a pretty good grip for stuff. When I was younger, I changed a lot of hand pipe on the farm that I grew up on, and haven't done that as much lately, and my grip's probably not as strong as it used to be. All right, couple more seconds there. All right, let's call that good. Here's my last reading. Okay, squeeze as hard as I can there. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, 40. So there we have it. So we have our data here. One cool thing that we can do is we can actually use this, insert a chart. It'll actually graph this for us. Maybe. And so we can see this trend that's going on here. And this is a bar graph, and that'll work. We could do a line graph as well. But you can see I started out very strong. I was able to maintain a very high force pressure. But as I went down, it kind of went down in almost a linear fashion there. We could insert tread lines here. Let's see. I'll have to play around with it, I guess. I'm not very good with Google. Anyways, this data right here will is all that you really need there. So this scale right here, you could one other thing you could do to share your data. So again, I'm going to specify this so everyone understands. I need to see your data. So if you want to do if you are wanting to make your own spreadsheet, you want to do it on a spreadsheet, a couple things you could do. You could just copy and paste this stuff into the text box where you have to answer that question for part 2 from lesson 4, or you can just share this with me. And what I'll do here is actually just share this with you guys as well, that you can. And you can just make a copy of this, change it to your data, and when you've changed this, it'll automatically change this, and then you can just actually just embed this link into the text as well. Oh, really? There we go. So you just copy this link and paste it into this question right here when you answer it. Okay. Again, I need to see the data, or I will dock you some points on this. But I want to see your data when you kind of explain the trend. Okay, so let's look at this question really fast before we end. So what trends do you notice? Well, obviously we see this downward trend almost in a linear fashion. It kind of tapers off right here. And if we went further, maybe we would see it dip down a little bit again. But obviously I had some ATP stored. I burnt all of that, and it's kind of just plain stagnant right there. Maybe this is going into some other phase. But anyways, and then it says, what might be the reason for such a trend? So why did it decrease? So hopefully this video will help answer that question, or what I've discussed. Also, this workbook right here will talk about it, and you're more than welcome to use this stuff in here to help you answer that question of what causes that muscle fatigue. All right, you guys, I think that is everything we need to go over for this. Yeah. So we went over everything. I think you guys should be good to go here. Just make sure that you include your data to get full points and answer these questions as detailed as possible. All right, guys, see you in project 2, or if I find something that needs my attention earlier than that.